Did you know that hiding in your pocket change could be a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars just waiting to be discovered? Welcome back, fellow coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters, to another exciting deep dive into American numismatic history. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and collectible coins in modern American history, the remarkable 1963 Jefferson Nickel, a coin that could turn your ordinary pocket change into serious money and transform you from a casual coin finder into a serious collector overnight. This video is packed with real market insights, current auction values, and everything you need to know about this incredible piece of American coinage that collectors are actively pursuing with genuine passion and substantial financial commitment. Let's uncover the treasure hiding in your change jar and explore why this particular nickel is making headlines in today's red-hot coin collecting market. The story of the 1963 Jefferson Nickel begins long before 1963, rooted deeply in American monetary history and the evolution of our nation's 5-cent piece that has captivated collectors for generations and continues to drive significant market activity in today's competitive numismatic marketplace. The Jefferson Nickel series was first introduced in 1938, replacing the beloved Buffalo nickel design that had graced American 5-cent coins since 1913, marking a significant transition in American coinage design philosophy and artistic representation that would influence decades of subsequent coin production. The new design was created by the talented German-American artist Felix Schlag, who won a national competition held by the United States Mint to create a new 5-cent coin design that would honor Thomas Jefferson, America's third president and principal author of the Declaration of Independence. Schlag's winning design featured a left-facing profile portrait of Jefferson on the obverse, based on a bust created by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Howden, along with Jefferson's Virginia home Monticello on the reverse, creating one of the most architecturally detailed and historically significant reverse designs in American coinage history. The transition from the Buffalo nickel to the Jefferson nickel represented more than just a design change. It symbolized America's growing sophistication in coin design and the Mint's commitment to honoring the founding fathers who shaped our nation's democratic principles and constitutional framework. By 1963, the Jefferson Nickel had been in production for 25 years, establishing itself as a stable and reliable component of American commerce, while simultaneously developing a devoted following among collectors who appreciated both its historical significance and its accessible collecting opportunities. The year 1963 holds special significance in American history, occurring during the height of the Cold War, just months before President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination in Dallas, and representing the final year of what many historians consider the last period of American innocence before the tumultuous changes of the mid-1960s began to reshape American society. In the numismatic world, 1963 represents a pivotal moment when coin collecting was transitioning from a primarily academic hobby to a more mainstream activity that attracted investors and casual collectors alike, driven by increasing awareness of coin values and the growing recognition that everyday pocket change could contain significant numismatic treasures. The economic context of 1963 was particularly favorable for coin production. As the American economy was experiencing sustained growth, unemployment was relatively low, and consumer confidence was high, creating ideal conditions for the mass production of circulating coinage that would serve the needs of an expanding economy, while providing future collectors with abundant opportunities to discover valuable specimens. In everyday transactions, the United States Mint facilities operating in 1963 included the main mint in Philadelphia, which produced coins without mint marks, and the Denver Mint, which added a small D mint mark to coins produced at that facility, creating two distinct varieties of 1963 Jefferson nickels that appeal to different segments of the collecting community and command varying price levels in today's active marketplace. The Philadelphia Mint, established in 1792 as America's first federal mint facility, brought decades of experience and technical expertise to the production of 1963 Jefferson Nickels, utilizing advanced striking technology and quality control procedures that resulted in generally well-struck coins with sharp details and excellent eye appeal that continue to attract collectors and investors seeking high-quality examples for their collections. The Denver Mint, which had been producing coins since 1906, added its distinctive D mint mark to the reverse of 1963 Jefferson Nickels, positioned to the right of Monticello near the rim, creating an easily identifiable characteristic that helps collectors distinguish between Philadelphia and Denver production, while adding an element of geographic collecting interest that enhances the appeal of building complete sets. The mint mark location on Jefferson Nickels was strategically chosen to be visible but not intrusive, allowing the architectural beauty of Monticello to remain the focal point of the reverse design, Hawaii, while providing clear identification of the producing mint facility for collectors who value completeness and authenticity in their numismatic pursuits. Understanding mint marks is crucial for collectors of 1963 Jefferson Nickels, because mint mark varieties often exhibit different characteristics in terms of strike quality, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal, factors that can significantly impact value and collectability in today's discriminating marketplace where condition and authenticity are paramount considerations for serious collectors and investors. The economic climate of 1963 created ideal conditions for coin production and circulation, with the United States experiencing robust economic growth, increasing consumer spending, and expanding commercial activity that required substantial quantities of circulating coinage to facilitate daily transactions across the nation. The Federal Reserve System was functioning smoothly. Banks were actively distributing newly minted coins to meet commercial demand, and the general public was using nickels extensively for everyday purchases, from candy and newspapers to public transportation and vending machine purchases that were becoming increasingly common in American society. This heavy circulation pattern means that most 1963 Jefferson Nickels saw extensive use in commerce, resulting in varying degrees of wear that today provide collectors with opportunities to find examples in different condition grades ranging from heavily circulated specimens that show significant wear to occasional uncirculated examples that escape circulation and retain their original mint luster and sharp striking details. The minting process in 1963 utilized sophisticated equipment and quality control procedures that generally produced well-struck coins with sharp details and good eye appeal. Though like all mass-produced coinage, there were occasional variations in strike quality, die preparation, and metal flow that today create interesting collecting opportunities for specialists who appreciate the subtle differences that make each coin unique. The composition of 1963 Jefferson Nickels consisted of 75% copper and 25% nickel, creating the distinctive silvery gray appearance that gives these coins their name, while providing durability and resistance to corrosion that helps preserve their condition and eye appeal over decades of storage and handling. This copper-nickel alloy had been standard for Jefferson Nickels since the series began in 1938. Except for the war years 1942 to 1945 when silver was temporarily added to conserve nickel for military applications, making the 1963 composition a return to traditional standards that collectors appreciate for its consistency and historical continuity. The artistic and design elements of the 1963 Jefferson Nickel represent some of the finest work in American coinage, combining historical accuracy with aesthetic appeal in a way that has made these coins favorites among collectors who appreciate both numismatic value and artistic merit. The obverse features Felix Schlag's masterful portrait of Thomas Jefferson, rendered in left-facing profile with remarkable attention to detail. that captures both the physical likeness and dignified bearing of America's third president and principal, author of the Declaration of Independence. The portrait shows Jefferson with his characteristic long hair, tied back in the fashion of the late 18th century, sharp facial features that convey intelligence and determination, and clothing details that reflect the formal attire of a Virginia gentleman and statesman of his era. The word liberty appears along the left edge of the coin, positioned to complement the profile portrait without interfering with its visual impact, while the date 1963 is prominently displayed below Jefferson's bust, providing clear identification and dating that collectors require for proper attribution and cataloging. The motto "In God We Trust" appears to the right of Jefferson's portrait, positioned in a way that balances the overall design composition, while fulfilling the legal requirement for this national motto that had become standard on American coinage. By this period, the reverse design showcases Monticello, Jefferson's architectural masterpiece and Virginia home, rendered with exceptional detail that captures the neoclassical proportions and elegant simplicity that made Jefferson's design one of the most influential architectural achievements in American history. The building is shown from a three-quarter angle that displays both the iconic dome and the column portico, creating depth and dimensional interest that makes the design far more engaging than a simple straight-on architectural view. The word Monticello appears below the building, providing identification for viewers who might not immediately recognize this architectural landmark, while 5 cents is positioned below that, clearly indicating the coin's denomination for use in commerce. United States of America curves along the upper edge of the reverse, completing the required inscriptions while maintaining the elegant proportions and balanced composition that make this one of the most successful architectural designs in American numismatics. The striking quality and technical aspects of 1963 Jefferson Nickels demonstrate the advanced minting capabilities that the United States Mint had developed by the early 1960s, incorporating sophisticated die preparation techniques, precise metal alloy composition, and quality control procedures that generally produce coins with sharp details, good eye appeal, and consistent striking characteristics that collectors appreciate and value in today's marketplace. The dies used to strike 1963 Jefferson Nickels were prepared using advanced engraving and hubbing techniques that captured fine details in both the portrait elements on the obverse and the architectural features on the reverse, resulting in coins that display crisp lines, well-defined lettering, and strong relief that enhances their visual appeal and collectible value. The striking process involved feeding properly prepared plankets, which are blank metal discs cut from sheets of copper-nickel alloy, into high-pressure coin presses that simultaneously impress both the obverse and reverse designs with tremendous force, creating the raised and recessed areas that form the coin's final appearance. Quality control procedures included regular inspection of struck coins to ensure proper metal flow, complete detail transfer, and acceptable surface quality. Though like all mass-produced items, there were occasional variations that today create interesting collecting opportunities for specialists who appreciate the subtle differences in strike quality, die states, and surface characteristics. The copper-nickel alloy used in 1963 Jefferson Nickels was carefully controlled to maintain consistent color, hardness, and striking characteristics, though natural variations in metal composition and processing can create subtle differences in surface appearance and toning patterns that collectors find attractive and desirable. The weight specification for Jefferson Nickels was set at 5.000 grams with a tolerance for minor variations due to manufacturing processes, while the diameter measured precisely 21.1 millimeters, dimensions that had been standardized for the series and remain consistent throughout the production run. The edge of 1963 Jefferson Nickels is plain, without reeding or other decorative treatment, creating a smooth rim that complements the overall design aesthetic. while providing practical benefits for stacking and handling in commercial use. Understanding the grading and condition assessment of 1963 Jefferson Nickels is essential for collectors who want to make informed purchasing decisions and properly evaluate the coins they discover in circulation or acquire through dealers, auctions, and other numismatic sources. The Sheldon grading scale, which ranges from 1 to 70, provides a standardized method for describing coin condition that allows collectors, dealers, and auction houses to communicate precisely about quality levels and establish fair market values based on objective condition criteria. For circulated 1963 Jefferson Nickels, the most commonly encountered grades range from good 4, where the coin shows heavy wear, but all major design elements remain visible, to extremely fine 45, where the coin retains sharp details with only minor signs of circulation wear on the highest points of the design. Good condition 1963 nickels typically show significant wear on Jefferson's portrait, with flattening of the hair details and some softness in the facial features, while the reverse will show wear on the dome and columns of Monticello, though the basic architectural outline remains clear and readable. Very good condition examples display moderate wear throughout the design, but retain more detail than good specimens, with Jefferson's hair showing some individual strands and Monticello's architectural features remaining reasonably sharp and well-defined. Fine condition 1963 nickels exhibit light to moderate wear with most design details intact, showing good definition in Jefferson's portrait and clear architectural elements on Monticello, making them attractive to collectors who want reasonably priced examples with good eye appeal. Very fine specimens show only slight wear on the highest points of the design, retaining sharp details throughout most of the coin and displaying the quality that many collectors prefer for typesets and general collecting purposes. Extremely fine 1963 Jefferson nickels display minimal wear, limited to the very highest points of the design, with Jefferson's cheekbone and hair details remaining sharp and Monticello's dome and columns showing full architectural detail that approaches uncirculated quality. About uncirculated grades, ranging from AU50 to AU58, describe coins that show only the slightest trace of friction on the highest points, but retain full mint luster and sharp striking details that make them highly desirable to collectors who want nearly perfect examples without paying the premium commanded by full uncirculated specimens. Uncirculated 1963 Jefferson nickels, graded from MS60 to MS70, represent the finest examples available to collectors and command premium prices in today's marketplace due to their exceptional condition and eye appeal that has been preserved since the moment they left the mint presses over 6 decades ago. MS60 through MS60 to uncirculated nickels may show some minor bag marks or contact marks from the minting and storage process, but retain full mint luster and sharp striking details that make them attractive to collectors seeking high-quality examples for their collections. MS63 specimens display better surface quality with fewer marks and excellent luster. That creates attractive eye appeal, while MS6 for coins show even better preservation with minimal surface disturbances and outstanding luster that reflects light beautifully and creates the visual impact that serious collectors demand. MS65 and higher grade 1963 Jefferson nickels are considered premium specimens that combine exceptional surface quality, outstanding luster, sharp striking details, and superior eye appeal. That justifies the higher prices these coins command in today's competitive marketplace. The surfaces of high-grade uncirculated 1963 nickels often display attractive toning patterns that develop naturally over time, ranging from subtle golden hues to deeper rainbow colors that enhance their visual appeal and create additional collector interest beyond their technical grade assignment. Full mint luster is essential for uncirculated designation and describes the satiny, reflective surface quality that results from the minting process and has been preserved through careful storage. and handling over the decades since production. The strike quality of uncirculated 1963 Jefferson Nickels varies somewhat, with the finest examples showing complete detail transfer in both Jefferson's portrait and Monticello's architectural elements, creating coins that display every intended design element with clarity and precision. That showcases Felix Schlag's artistic vision. Color and surface characteristics play important roles in the collector appeal and market value of 1963 Jefferson Nickels, as these factors contribute significantly to the overall eye appeal that drives collector demand and pricing in today's active numismatic marketplace. Freshly minted 1963 nickels display the bright silvery gray color characteristic of the copper-nickel alloy, with reflective luster that created attractive light patterns and visual interest that made these coins appealing to handle and examine. Over time, natural chemical processes can create toning effects that range from subtle color shifts to more dramatic rainbow patterns, depending on storage conditions, environmental factors, and the specific chemical composition of individual coins. Light golden toning is often considered attractive by collectors and can enhance the eye appeal of high-grade specimens, while deeper blues, purples, and rainbow colors can create spectacular visual effects that make certain coins stand out dramatically from typical examples. However, artificial toning or chemical alteration is generally not accepted by collectors and can significantly reduce a coin's value and desirability, making it important for collectors to learn to distinguish between natural and artificial color effects. The original mint luster of 1963 Jefferson Nickels consists of a satiny, reflective surface quality that results from the flow of metal during the striking process and creates the characteristic light reflection patterns that collectors prize in uncirculated specimens. This luster can be affected by handling, cleaning, or environmental exposure, making preservation of original mint surfaces a key factor in maintaining collector value and appeal. Circulated 1963 nickels typically show varying degrees of surface, where that affects both color and luster, with heavily circulated specimens displaying darker, more uniform coloration and little or no remaining mint luster, while lightly circulated examples may retain significant luster and attractive surface characteristics that enhance their collector appeal. Despite minor circulation wear, the rarity and availability factors surrounding 1963 Jefferson Nickels create interesting collecting opportunities that appeal to both beginning collectors who appreciate accessible pricing and experienced numismatists who seek high-quality specimens. For advanced collections and investment purposes, the total mintage of 1963 Jefferson Nickels was substantial, with the Philadelphia Mint producing 175,776,000 pieces and the Denver Mint contributing to 176,829 200 coins, creating a combined total production of over 450 million pieces that entered circulation during 1963 and subsequent years. While these high mintage figures might suggest that 1963 Jefferson Nickels are common and therefore not particularly valuable, the reality of coin collecting is more complex, as collector value depends not just on original mintage but also on survival rates, condition census, and ongoing collector demand that can create significant premiums for high-quality examples. The vast majority of 1963 Jefferson Nickels entered circulation immediately upon release and saw extensive use in daily commerce, resulting in wear patterns that range from light circulation marks to heavy wear that obscures fine design details, making truly uncirculated examples relatively scarce despite the high original mintage figures. Survival rates for uncirculated 1963 Jefferson Nickels are significantly lower than the original mintage would suggest, as most specimens were distributed through banks to businesses and individuals who use them for everyday transactions without considering their potential future collectible value. This circulation pattern means that while worn examples of 1963 nickels are readily available and affordable for beginning collectors, finding high-grade uncirculated specimens requires patience, persistence, and willingness to pay premium prices that reflect their scarcity in top-condition grades. Collector demand for 1963 Jefferson nickels is driven by several factors that make these coins attractive to different segments of the numismatic community, from casual collectors who enjoy searching through pocket change to serious investors who recognize the long-term appreciation potential of high-quality specimens. In today's growing coin market, typeset collectors appreciate 1963 Jefferson nickels as representative examples of the Jefferson Nickel series, offering an accessible way to include this important design type in comprehensive collections of American coinage without the expense of acquiring key dates or extremely rare varieties. Date and mint mark collectors pursue 1963 nickels from both Philadelphia and Denver to complete their Jefferson nickel collections, creating steady demand that supports market values and ensures liquidity for collectors who decide to sell their holdings. The 1963 date holds special historical significance as the final year before President Kennedy's assassination, making these coins appealing to collectors interested in the historical context and cultural significance of American coinage. During pivotal moments in national history, roll collectors and original bank wrapper enthusiasts seek and open rolls of 1963 Jefferson nickels that have been stored since distribution, offering the excitement of discovering uncirculated specimens and the potential for finding exceptional examples that command premium prices in today's marketplace. Investment-minded collectors recognize that high-grade 1963 Jefferson nickels have shown consistent appreciation over time, particularly specimens graded MS-65 and higher by professional grading services, making them attractive components of diversified numismatic portfolios that balance collecting enjoyment with financial considerations. The accessibility of 1963 Jefferson nickels makes them ideal for beginning collectors who want to learn grading skills, understand market dynamics, and develop collecting expertise without making major financial commitments, while still offering the potential for significant discoveries and profitable acquisitions. Professional grading services have played an increasingly important role in the 1963 Jefferson nickel market, providing standardized condition assessment, authentication services, and protective encapsulation that enhances collector confidence and market liquidity, while establishing clear quality benchmarks that facilitate fair pricing and trading. The two leading grading services, Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) and Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC), have certified thousands of 1963 Jefferson nickels over the years, creating reliable population reports that help collectors understand rarity levels and market dynamics for different condition grades and varieties. These population reports reveal that while lower uncirculated grades MS60 through MS63 are reasonably available for 1963 nickels, higher grades MS65 and above become increasingly scarce, with MS67 and MS68 specimens representing condition rarities that command substantial premiums despite the relatively common status of the date itself. The grading service encapsulation process protects coins from environmental damage and handling wear, while providing tamper-evident holders that assure buyers of authenticity and grade accuracy, factors that have become increasingly important in today's marketplace where counterfeit coins and grade inflation concerns affect collector confidence. Registry set competition sponsored by both PCGS and NGC has created additional demand for high-grade 1963 Jefferson nickels, as collectors compete to assemble the finest possible sets of Jefferson nickels with emphasis on condition quality and eye appeal that drives prices for premium specimens to levels that might surprise casual observers. The certification process also helps identify and document varieties, die states, and special characteristics that might otherwise go unnoticed, adding numismatic interest and potential value to coins that might appear common at first glance. For collectors of 1963 Jefferson Nickels, professional grading provides peace of mind regarding authenticity and condition, while facilitating easier buying and selling through the standardized quality, descriptions, and market recognition that certified coins enjoy. In today's active numismatic marketplace, the investment potential and market performance of 1963 Jefferson Nickels reflects broader trends in the numismatic marketplace, where high-quality examples of even relatively common dates have shown consistent appreciation over time, particularly specimens that combine excellent condition with superior eye appeal and professional certification. Market analysis of certified 1963 Jefferson Nickels shows that MS65 and higher grade specimens have outperformed many traditional investments over the past decade, with particularly strong performance in MS66 and MS67 grades where scarcity factors create competition among quality-conscious collectors and investors. The key to investment success with 1963 Jefferson Nickels lies in understanding the importance of condition rarity, as the difference in value between MS64 and MS66 specimens can be dramatic due to the relatively small number of coins that achieve the higher grade levels despite the large original mintage figures. Auction results for premium 1963 Jefferson Nickels demonstrate the market's willingness to pay substantial premiums for exceptional quality, with MS67 specimens selling for hundreds of times their face value when superior eye appeal and strike quality justify the grade assignment. The stability of the Jefferson Nickels series as a whole provides a solid foundation for investment consideration, as these coins benefit from consistent collector demand, extensive market participation, and the general popularity of Jefferson as a historical figure and democratic symbol. Modern coin market dynamics favor certified specimens with established track records and population report data, making professionally graded 1963 Jefferson Nickels more liquid and easier to trade than raw coins that require individual evaluation and grade assessment by potential buyers. The relatively low entry cost for high-quality 1963 Jefferson Nickels makes them accessible to collectors with modest budgets, while still offering significant upside potential for exceptional specimens that combine technical quality with superior visual appeal. Building complete sets and collecting strategies for 1963 Jefferson Nickels opens up numerous possibilities that can enhance collecting enjoyment, while potentially providing financial benefits through systematic acquisition of quality specimens and strategic market timing. The most basic collecting approach involves acquiring one example each of the 1963P Philadelphia and 1963D Denver issues in the highest grades that budget constraints allow, creating a simple but complete date and mint mark collection that represents both major production facilities and provides a solid foundation for potential expansion. More advanced collectors might focus on assembling multiple examples of each mint mark in different grade levels, allowing comparison of strike quality, eye appeal, and surface characteristics while building depth in their 1963 holdings that could prove advantageous if market conditions continue to favor high-quality Jefferson Nickels. Roll collecting represents another popular approach, involving the acquisition of original bank-wrapped rolls of 1963 nickels that offer the excitement of potentially discovering uncirculated specimens while providing quantity discounts that make accumulation more affordable for budget-conscious collectors. Some collectors specialize in toned examples, seeking 1963 Jefferson Nickels that display attractive natural color patterns that enhance eye appeal and create visual interest beyond what typical untoned specimens can provide. Dye variety specialists study 1963 Jefferson Nickels for evidence of double dyes, repunch mint marks, or other production variations that can create premium values for coins. that might otherwise appear ordinary to casual observers. Registry set participants focus on assembling the finest possible examples of 1963 nickels for competitive purposes, emphasizing technical quality and eye appeal that can command substantial premiums in today's condition-sensitive marketplace. The flexibility and accessibility of 1963 Jefferson nickel collecting makes it suitable for collectors at all experience and budget levels, while offering genuine potential for both educational value and financial appreciation that justifies serious consideration. As part of a well-rounded numismatic collecting program, identification and authentication techniques for 1963 Jefferson nickels help collectors distinguish genuine specimens from potential counterfeits, while developing the skills necessary to evaluate condition, detect alterations, and make informed purchasing decisions in today's complex marketplace, where knowledge and expertise provide significant advantages. The basic identification process begins with confirming the date 1963, positioned below Jefferson's portrait on the obverse, ensuring that the numerals are properly formed and positioned according to the standard die specifications used by the mint during 1963 production. Mint mark identification requires careful examination of the reverse, near the right side of Monticello, where Denver minted coins will display a small D mint mark while Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, a distinction that affects both collectability and value depending on relative scarcity and collector preferences. Authenticating 1963 Jefferson nickels involves checking the overall design proportions, lettering styles, and surface characteristics against known authentic examples, as counterfeits often display subtle differences in these areas that trained observers can detect. Through careful comparison, the weight specification of 5.000 grams provides another authentication checkpoint, as counterfeit coins may use different alloys or construction techniques that result in weight variations outside the acceptable tolerance range for genuine specimens. Surface examination under proper lighting conditions can reveal the characteristic luster patterns and metal flow lines that result from legitimate mint production processes, while counterfeit coins may display surface anomalies, artificial aging, or other irregularities that indicate non-mint origin. Edge examination should confirm the plain edge characteristic of Jefferson nickels, as any reading, lettering, or other edge treatment would indicate either a counterfeit coin or a coin that has been altered from its original state, color, and patina. Evaluation helps identify coins that have been artificially toned or chemically treated to simulate natural aging processes, as genuine natural toning displays specific characteristics and progression patterns that differ from artificial treatments. Strike quality assessment involves examining the sharpness and completeness of design details, as genuine mint production typically results in consistent strike characteristics within normal parameters, while altered coins may show evidence of artificial enhancement or restoration work. Storage and preservation considerations for 1963 Jefferson nickels play crucial roles in maintaining condition and value over time, as proper handling and environmental control can preserve original mint state characteristics, while improper storage can result in damage that significantly reduces collector appeal and market value. The copper-nickel composition of Jefferson nickels makes them susceptible to environmental damage from moisture, pollutants, and temperature fluctuations that can cause corrosion, spotting, or toning effects that may be considered undesirable by collectors and grading services. Individual coin holders made from inert plastics provide basic protection, while allowing easy viewing and handling, though collectors should verify that holder materials meet archival standards and will not alkali chemicals that could damage coin surfaces over time. Album storage systems offer convenient organization and display options, while providing reasonable protection for circulated specimens, though collectors should ensure that album materials are acid-free and chemically neutral to prevent long-term damage from contact with inferior storage materials for high-value uncirculated specimens. Professional grading service encapsulation provides the ultimate protection, while maintaining liquidity and authenticity assurance that facilitates trading and resale when market conditions or collection goals change. Climate control becomes increasingly important for valuable 1963 Jefferson Nickels, as temperature and humidity fluctuations can cause expansion and contraction cycles that may damage coin surfaces or accelerate chemical reactions that affect appearance and condition. Handling techniques should minimize direct contact with coin surfaces, using cotton gloves or holding coins by their edges to prevent fingerprints, oils, and contaminants from affecting surface quality and eye appeal. Regular inspection allows early detection of any developing problems such as spotting, corrosion, or environmental damage that might be addressed through improved storage conditions or conservation measures before irreversible damage occurs. The broader market context and collecting trends affecting 1963 Jefferson Nickels reflect the evolution of numismatics from a primarily academic pursuit to a mainstream hobby, an investment category that attracts participants with diverse goals and varying levels of expertise and financial commitment. The modern coin collecting market benefits from improved communication through internet forums, auction platforms, and pricing databases that provide real-time market information and facilitate trading between collectors regardless of geographic location or local dealer availability. Online auction platforms have revolutionized the market for 1963 Jefferson Nickels by creating efficient price discovery mechanisms and expanding the potential buyer base for quality specimens, while also increasing competition for the finest examples that appear in the marketplace. The growing popularity of registry set collecting has created additional demand for high-grade 1963 nickels, as collectors compete to assemble the finest possible Jefferson Nickel sets, with emphasis on technical quality and eye appeal rather than simply date and mint mark completion. Educational resources including books, websites, and grading guides have improved collector knowledge and sophistication, leading to greater appreciation for quality factors and condition nuances that affect value and desirability in today's marketplace. The certification and grading service industry has standardized condition assessment and authentication procedures while providing protective encapsulation that preserves coin quality and facilitates confident trading among collectors who may never meet face-to-face. Modern marketing and promotion by dealers, auction houses, and publishing companies has increased awareness of collecting opportunities, while highlighting the investment potential of high-quality specimens that combine numismatic interest with financial appreciation prospects. The demographic evolution of coin collecting toward younger participants with different collecting goals and preferences has influenced market dynamics and created new opportunities for coins like 1963 Jefferson Nickels that offer accessibility and potential appreciation at reasonable price levels. Price trends and market analysis for 1963 Jefferson Nickels demonstrate the importance of condition, quality in determining value, as the spread between common circulated examples and premium uncirculated specimens continues to widen in response to collector preferences and investment considerations. Common circulated 1963 Jefferson Nickels in good through fine condition typically trade close to their intrinsic metal value with modest premiums that reflect basic collector demand and dealer handling costs, making them accessible to beginning collectors and casual enthusiasts who want affordable examples for type sets or general collecting purposes. Higher circulated grades from very fine through about uncirculated command increasing premiums that reflect their superior condition and eye appeal, with those specimens approaching the pricing levels of lower uncirculated grades when exceptional quality and strike characteristics justify premium evaluations. The uncirculated market for 1963 Jefferson Nickels shows dramatic price differentiation based on grade levels and eye appeal factors, with MS-60 through MS-63 specimens available at modest premiums, while MS65 and higher grades command substantial multiples of lower grade pricing due to condition rarity factors. Market data indicates that MS66 and MS671963 Jefferson Nickels have shown consistent appreciation over the past decade, outperforming many traditional investments while providing the additional benefits of tangible asset ownership and collecting enjoyment that financial instruments cannot match. Auction results for exceptional specimens demonstrate the market's willingness to pay significant premiums for superior quality, with record prices achieved by coins that combine technical excellence with outstanding eye appeal and strike quality. That creates immediate visual impact, the price stability of certified 1963 Jefferson Nickels provides confidence for collectors and investors who seek predictable value retention with upside potential based on continuing collector demand and the finite supply of high-quality specimens available in the marketplace. Seasonal patterns and pricing reflect the cyclical nature of coin show activity, auction scheduling, and tax-related buying and selling that creates opportunities for astute collectors to time their acquisitions and dispositions for optimal financial results. Regional variations and international interest. In 1963, Jefferson Nickels reflect the global nature of modern numismatics and the worldwide recognition of American coinage as both collectible items and historical artifacts that represent important periods in United States monetary and cultural history. Domestic collecting patterns show strong interest in Jefferson Nickels across all regions of the United States, with particular strength in areas with established coin collecting communities and access to dealers, shows, and educational resources that support active collecting and trading activity. International collectors, particularly in Canada and Europe, have shown increasing interest in American coins, including 1963 Jefferson Nickels as components of world coin collections and as examples of American democratic symbolism and artistic achievement in coinage design. The Internet has facilitated international trading and collecting by eliminating geographic barriers and providing access to pricing information, auction opportunities, and dealer inventories that were previously unavailable to collectors outside major metropolitan areas. Cultural factors influence collecting preferences and market dynamics, with Jefferson's status as a founding father and democratic symbol creating appeal that transcends purely numismatic considerations and attracts collectors interested in American history and political philosophy. Economic factors in different regions affect collector participation and price levels, with stronger economies generally supporting higher levels of collecting activity and willingness to pay premium prices for quality specimens that meet discriminating collector standards. Currency exchange rates and international shipping considerations create additional complexity for global trading while also creating arbitrage opportunities for collectors who understand market dynamics and can capitalize on regional price differences. The standardization provided by professional grading services facilitates international trading by establishing universal quality standards and authentication procedures that reduce transaction risks and increase buyer confidence regardless of geographic location or local expertise. Future prospects and long-term considerations for 1963 Jefferson Nickels involve multiple factors that can influence collector demand, market values, and investment potential over the coming years and decades as numismatic markets continue to evolve and mature. The limited supply of high-quality, uncirculated specimens creates a foundation for continued appreciation as collector demand grows, and the finest examples become increasingly concentrated and strong. Collecting hands who may be reluctant to sell except at significant premiums. Demographic trends in coin collecting suggest that younger collectors may bring different perspectives and collecting goals that could either enhance or modify demand patterns for Jefferson Nickels, depending on their interest in American history, design aesthetics, and investment considerations. Technological advances in authentication, grading, and market analysis continue to improve collector confidence and market efficiency while potentially identifying new varieties or characteristics that could create additional collecting interest and value premiums. The stability of the Jefferson Nickel series and its continuing production provides ongoing awareness and familiarity that supports collector interest, while the historical cutoff of silver coinage in 1964 creates a natural collecting boundary that enhances the appeal of pre-1965 specimens. Economic factors including inflation, investment market performance, and alternative asset recognition could influence collector participation and price levels, as investors seek tangible assets with appreciation potential and inflation protection. Characteristics, educational initiatives, and promotional activities by numismatic organizations could increase awareness and participation in Jefferson nickel collecting, while highlighting the historical significance and collecting opportunities that these coins represent. The development of new storage, display, and preservation technologies could enhance the long-term appeal of coin collecting, while providing better protection for valuable specimens and more attractive presentation options for collectors who value both preservation and aesthetic considerations. Stay tuned, because this is one coin that collectors are chasing with serious passion and big money. As the combination next 1977 P Jefferson Nickel, hold on to your hats, coin enthusiasts, because what I'm about to reveal could completely transform your perspective on pocket change forever. Welcome back, fellow collectors, to another treasure hunting adventure that's about to unlock secrets hiding in plain sight. Today we're diving deep into the world of one of the most underappreciated, yet potentially valuable series of coins in American numismatic history. And trust me when I say this particular piece could turn ordinary pocket change into thousands of dollars if you know exactly what to look for. This video is packed with real market value insights and top collector favorites that are making waves in today's auction houses. So let's uncover the treasure in your change jar and explore the fascinating world of the 1977 P Jefferson Nickel, a coin that represents not just 5 cents of face value, but potentially hundreds or even thousands of dollars in collector value depending on condition, mint state preservation, and the specific characteristics that make certain specimens absolute gold mines. For savvy collectors and investors who understand the intricate details of this remarkable series, the Jefferson Nickel series stands as one of America's longest-running and most beloved coin designs. Introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel that had served the nation for 25 years. And the man behind this iconic design was Felix Schlag, a German-born American sculptor whose artistic vision would grace American 5-cent pieces for decades to come. Though many collectors mistakenly attribute early nickel designs to Victor, David Brenner, or John Arsenic, it was actually Schlag who won the design competition with his masterful portrayal of Thomas Jefferson and his Virginia estate Monticello, creating a design that would endure through multiple decades and become one of the most recognizable coins in American circulation. And by 1977, this design had been in production for nearly 4 decades, making the 1977 P Jefferson Nickel a fascinating study in both artistic longevity and numismatic evolution, representing a mature point in the series where minting techniques had been refined, die preparation had reached new levels of sophistication, and quality control measures had been implemented that would create some of the most beautifully struck nickels in the entire series. And when we examine the historical context of 1977, we're looking at a period of significant economic transition in America, with inflation concerns, energy crises, and monetary policy changes that would impact coin production, circulation patterns, and ultimately the survival rates of coins in various conditions, making specimens from this year particularly interesting to collectors who appreciate both historical significance and market dynamics. The Philadelphia Mint, which produced the 1977 P Jefferson Nickel, has a storied history dating back to 1792 when it was established as the first official mint facility of the United States, and by 1977, this facility had evolved into one of the most technologically advanced coin production centers in the world, employing sophisticated hydraulic presses, precision die-cutting equipment, and quality control systems that could produce millions of coins with remarkable consistency. Yet within this mass production environment, subtle variations, die states, and striking characteristics would create the differences that separate common circulated specimens from rare collector treasures worth serious money in today's market. And the P mint mark, though not physically present on nickels minted in Philadelphia during this era, represents the primary production facility where the vast majority of Jefferson nickels were manufactured, using dies prepared with meticulous attention to detail. Specially formulated alloy compositions designed to provide optimal striking characteristics, and production processes that had been refined through decades of experience, creating coins that showcase the full artistic potential of Schlag's original design, while meeting the practical demands of a coin intended for heavy circulation throughout the American economy. And understanding this production context becomes crucial for collectors, because it explains why certain 1977 P Jefferson nickels exhibit superior strike quality, sharper design details, and better surface preservation than others, characteristics that directly translate into significant premiums in today's competitive collecting market, where discerning collectors are willing to pay substantial sums for specimens that represent the absolute pinnacle of Philadelphia mint production quality. During this pivotal year in American numismatic history, the economic landscape of 1977 provides fascinating context for understanding both the production and circulation patterns of Jefferson nickels from this year, as America was navigating through a complex period of economic challenges, including persistent inflation that had been building throughout the 1970s, energy shortages that affected everything from transportation costs to manufacturing processes, and monetary policies designed to combat these economic pressures while maintaining stability in the currency system. And these broader economic conditions influence coin production in subtle but important ways, affecting everything from the quality of raw materials used in the copper-nickel alloy to the maintenance schedules of minting equipment, the frequency of die replacement, and the overall attention to quality control measures that would determine which coins emerged from the Philadelphia Mint as potential collector treasures and which would enter circulation as ordinary 5-cent pieces destined for pocket change. And during this era, the United States Mint was also implementing new technologies and procedures designed to improve coin production efficiency, while maintaining the high standards expected by both the government and the collecting community, making 1977 a particularly interesting year for numismatists who appreciate the intersection of technological advancement, economic pressures, and artistic excellence in American coinage. And collectors today recognize that coins produced during periods of economic uncertainty often exhibit unique characteristics that make them particularly desirable, whether due to variations in production processes, changes in quality control standards, or simply the scarcity created when economic conditions affect circulation patterns and survival rates in ways that become apparent only decades later, when collectors begin seeking high-quality specimens for their collections. Felix Schlag's design for the Jefferson nickel represents one of the most successful and enduring artistic achievements in American numismatic history, winning a national competition that attracted hundreds of submissions from talented artists and sculptors across the country. And his vision of Thomas Jefferson's profile, combined with the architectural beauty of Monticello, created a coin that perfectly balanced artistic merit with practical considerations of mass production and circulation durability. And by 1977, this design had proven its longevity and continued relevance, with the artistic elements still crisp and recognizable, despite nearly 4 decades of production. and the specific design elements that make the 1977 Jefferson Nickel so appealing to collectors include the refined execution of Jefferson's portrait, showing remarkable attention to facial features, hair texture, and clothing details that demonstrate the sophistication of mid-1970s dye preparation techniques, while the reverse design of Monticello showcases architectural details that require precise striking to achieve full clarity, making well-struck specimens particularly valuable to collectors who appreciate both the artistic and technical excellence represented in these coins. And understanding Schlag's original artistic vision becomes crucial for collectors, because it provides the foundation for evaluating the quality and completeness of strike characteristics that separate exceptional specimens from common circulated examples. And in today's market, collectors actively seek 1977 Jefferson nickels that showcase the full potential of Schlag's design through superior striking, complete detail transfer, and surface preservation that allows every nuance of the original artistic concept to be appreciated and enjoyed by numismatic enthusiasts who value both beauty and rarity in their collecting pursuits. The unique features and design analysis of the 1977 Jefferson Nickel reveal a masterpiece of mid-1970s American coinage that combines artistic excellence with technical precision in ways that create immediate appeal for collectors and investors who understand the subtle characteristics that separate common coins from numismatic treasures. And when we examine the obverse design, we discover Thomas Jefferson's left-facing portrait executed with remarkable attention to detail. That includes finely rendered facial features showing the statesman's distinctive profile, carefully sculpted hair texture that demonstrates the die engraver's skill in creating depth and dimension, and clothing details including the period-appropriate coat collar that adds historical authenticity to the overall design composition, while the inscriptions include Liberty positioned along the left edge of the coin, "In God We Trust" placed strategically to the left of Jefferson's portrait, and the date 1977 positioned prominently at the bottom right, all executed with lettering that showcases the precision of Philadelphia Mint typography. During this era, and careful examination of well-preserved specimens reveals subtle design elements that include the careful gradation of relief in Jefferson's facial features, the intricate detailing of his hair that requires precise striking to achieve full definition, and the overall composition balance that demonstrates Felix Schlag's mastery of coin design principles, making each element work together to create a cohesive and aesthetically pleasing numismatic artwork that has remained popular with collectors for decades. And the absence of a visible mint mark on Philadelphia-produced nickels during this period creates an interesting collecting challenge because it requires collectors to distinguish Philadelphia mint production through other characteristics including strike quality, surface characteristics, and die markers that experienced numismatists learn to recognize through careful study in comparison with specimens from other mint facilities. The reverse design of the 1977 Jefferson Nickel presents Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's architectural masterpiece and primary residence, rendered with extraordinary attention to architectural detail that includes the distinctive neoclassical facade with its iconic column portico, carefully proportioned windows and doorways that reflect Jefferson's sophisticated understanding of classical architecture, and landscape elements including trees and grounds that provide environmental context for this historic structure, while the inscriptions include E Pluribus Unum arched across the top of the coin, Monticello identifying the building at the bottom, and 5 cents clearly indicating the denomination, all executed with lettering that complements the architectural theme while maintaining excellent readability even after decades of potential circulation. And the artistic challenge of depicting a three-dimensional building on a two-dimensional coin surface has been masterfully solved through careful use of relief gradation, perspective techniques, and detail selection that emphasizes the most recognizable architectural elements while maintaining overall design clarity and collectors particularly appreciate specimens where the architectural details are fully struck, showing complete definition in the column capitals, window frames, and roofline details that demonstrate the quality of the original dies and the precision of the striking process, making high-grade examples especially valuable to numismatists who collect based on artistic merit, as well as rarity and condition. And the overall reverse design creates a perfect complement to the obverse portrait, combining to tell the story of Jefferson's life and legacy through both his physical likeness and his most famous architectural achievement, creating a coin that serves as both a medium of exchange and a miniature artwork celebrating American history and culture. The composition details of the 1977 Jefferson Nickel reflect the standard specifications that had been established for the series since 1946, consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, creating an alloy that provides excellent striking characteristics, attractive surface appearance, and durability suitable for heavy circulation, with each coin weighing 5.000 grams and measuring 21.21 millimeters in diameter. Specifications that had proven optimal for both manufacturing efficiency and public acceptance. And this copper-nickel composition creates distinctive color characteristics that collectors learn to appreciate, including the bright silver-white appearance of freshly minted specimens, the subtle toning that develops over time through natural oxidation processes, and the attractive patina that well-preserved examples can develop when stored properly under controlled environmental conditions. And understanding the metallurgical properties of this alloy becomes important for collectors, because it affects everything from striking characteristics to preservation requirements, surface appearance, and long-term stability, making specimens with original mint surfaces particularly valuable to collectors who appreciate the natural beauty of untoned copper-nickel alloy, while also creating opportunities for specimens with attractive natural toning to command premium prices among collectors who prefer coins with character and eye appeal, developed through decades of careful storage. And the specific gravity and hardness characteristics of this alloy also influence how well designed details are transferred during the striking process, making well-struck specimens particularly desirable because they demonstrate the optimal interaction between die quality, alloy properties, and striking pressure that creates the sharpest possible detail definition. Strike quality represents one of the most critical factors in determining the collectible value and market appeal of 1977 Jefferson Nickels, as the minting process during this era had reached a level of sophistication that could produce specimens with exceptional detail definition when all variables align perfectly, including properly prepared dies, optimal striking pressure, correctly formulated alloy composition, and precise equipment calibration, creating conditions where the artistic potential of Schlag's design could be fully realized in metal. And collectors actively seek specimens that demonstrate superior strike quality through characteristics, including complete detail transfer in Jefferson's hair texture, full definition of facial features including the subtle modeling that gives dimension to the portrait, sharp lettering in all inscriptions with complete formation of each character, and on the reverse, full architectural detail in Monticello's columns, windows, roofline, and landscaping elements, making these well-struck specimens significantly more valuable than typical circulation strikes that may show incomplete detail transfer due to variations in striking pressure, die condition, or other production variables. And the minting process itself involves multiple steps including blank preparation, annealing to achieve proper metal flow characteristics, feeding into high-pressure hydraulic presses that can exert hundreds of tons of force, and quality control inspection to ensure that finished coins meet established standards. Though within this mass production environment, subtle variations create the differences that collectors prize, making specimens that received optimal striking conditions during production particularly valuable in today's competitive collecting market, where discerning numismatists are willing to pay substantial premiums for coins that showcase the absolute best of 1970s American minting technology and craftsmanship. Condition grading plays a crucial role in determining both the collectible appeal and market value of 1977 P. Jefferson Nickels, with the standard Sheldon grading scale providing a framework for evaluating preservation quality, from good for through perfect mint state 70. Though most collector interest focuses on higher grades where the coin's original beauty and design details remain intact, and understanding the specific characteristics that define each grade level becomes essential for collectors because even small differences in preservation quality can translate into significant variations in market value, particularly in the higher grade ranges where collectors compete intensely for the finest available specimens. And the grading process involves careful examination of multiple factors, including overall surface preservation, presence or absence of contact marks, luster quality and completeness, strike characteristics, and any signs of environmental damage or cleaning that might affect both appearance and collectability, with professional grading services like PCGS and NGC providing authoritative opinions that are widely accepted in the numismatic marketplace. Though knowledgeable collectors also develop their own grading skills through study and experience, that allows them to identify undergraded specimens and potential upgrades that can significantly enhance the value of their collections. And for 1977 P. Jefferson Nickels, the grade ranges that attract the most collector attention include extremely fine 40 through about uncirculated 58 for collectors seeking attractive examples with character and reasonable affordability, mint state 60 through mint state 64 for those wanting uncirculated quality without paying ultra-premium prices, and mint state 65 and higher for collectors and investors who demand absolute finest quality regardless of cost, making understanding of grading standards and market preferences essential knowledge for anyone serious about collecting or investing in these historically significant and potentially valuable coins. Color variations and toning characteristics add another dimension of collecting interest in 1977 P. Jefferson Nickels, as the copper-nickel alloy develops distinctive appearance changes over time, depending on storage conditions, environmental exposure, and chemical interactions that can create everything from subtle golden toning to dramatic rainbow effects that some collectors find particularly attractive, while others prefer the bright, untoned appearance of coins that have been carefully preserved in stable environmental conditions since the time of minting. And understanding these toning patterns becomes important for collectors because natural toning that develops gradually over decades through proper storage can enhance both the aesthetic appeal and market value of specimens, while artificial toning or environmental damage from improper storage can significantly reduce collectability and value, making storage conditions and preservation methods critical considerations for anyone building a collection of these coins. And the specific toning characteristics that collectors particularly appreciate include subtle golden hues that develop evenly across the coin's surface, deeper amber or brown toning that creates attractive contrast with raised design elements, and occasional specimens with blue, green, or purple highlights that develop through unique environmental interactions. Though collectors must be careful to distinguish natural toning from artificial enhancement or environmental damage, making experience and knowledge essential tools for evaluating toned specimens, and the market shows strong demand for both brilliantly preserved untoned examples that showcase the original mint surface and attractively toned specimens that demonstrate the natural beauty that can develop through proper long-term storage, creating collecting opportunities for numismatists with varying preferences and budgets who appreciate different aspects of coin preservation and appearance. The rarity and collector demand analysis for 1977 P. Jefferson Nickels reveals fascinating market dynamics that make these coins particularly interesting for both collectors and investors who understand the factors that drive numismatic values in today's competitive marketplace. Beginning with the original mintage numbers, that shows substantial production quantities typical of the late 1970s, when the Philadelphia Mint was operating at high capacity to meet circulation demands. Yet within this large overall production, the survival rates in higher grades become much more limited due to the harsh realities of circulation, environmental exposure, and the general lack of public awareness about the collectible potential of these coins during the initial decades after production, creating scarcity in the grade ranges where serious collectors focus their acquisition efforts. And this scarcity becomes particularly pronounced in mint state grades, where specimens must have avoided circulation entirely, been carefully preserved from the time of minting, and maintain the surface quality, luster, and detail definition that collectors demand, making such specimens increasingly difficult to locate in today's market, where decades of collector activity have removed many of the finest examples from general availability, and the specific survival rate estimates suggest that while common circulated examples remain relatively available, high-grade specimens in mint state 64 and above represent a much smaller population that continues to attract intense collector competition, driving market values significantly above face value and creating investment potential for those who understand the supply and demand dynamics that govern numismatic markets. The factors affecting survival rates include the immediate entry of most specimens into active circulation where they encountered the wear, damage, and environmental exposure that characterizes normal coin usage, combined with limited collector awareness during the initial decades after production, when most people viewed these coins simply as 5-cent pieces rather than potential collectibles, meaning that systematic preservation and numismatic quality storage was relatively rare, making specimens that did receive proper care from early collectors or dealers increasingly valuable as the collecting community has grown and demand for high-quality examples has intensified, and additional factors include the copper-nickel alloy's susceptibility to environmental toning and surface changes that can affect both appearance and collectability. The tendency of nickels to receive heavy handling due to their utility in vending machines and small transactions, and the general public's limited understanding of proper coin storage techniques, all combining to create conditions where truly exceptional specimens become increasingly rare as time passes and collector demand continues to grow. And understanding these survival dynamics helps explain why collectors today are willing to pay substantial premiums for specimens that demonstrate exceptional preservation quality, complete original surfaces, and the sharp detail definition that represents the best of Philadelphia mint production during this period, making careful coin selection and condition evaluation critical skills for anyone seeking to build a collection that will maintain and potentially increase its value over time. Collector demand for 1977 P. Jefferson Nickel stems from multiple factors that combine to create sustained market interest and pricing support across various grade levels, beginning with the series' popularity among numismatists who appreciate both the historical significance of Jefferson's legacy and the artistic merit of Felix Schlag's enduring design, while the specific year 1977 holds additional appeal for collectors who focus on birth year coins, anniversary collecting, or systematic completion of date and mint mark sets that require examples from each production year, and the technical quality achievable during the mid-1970s production era create specimens with particularly attractive strike characteristics and surface qualities that appeal to collectors who emphasize aesthetic merit alongside numismatic significance, making these coins popular choices for type collectors, Jefferson Nickel specialists, and general collectors who appreciate coins that combine beauty, history, and reasonable availability in most grade ranges, though demand becomes particularly intense in the higher mint state grades, where the number of serious collectors exceeds the available supply of exceptional specimens, creating market dynamics that support steady price appreciation and make selective upgrading a popular strategy among numismatists who understand the long-term trends affecting collectible coins, and the specific collecting communities that actively seek 1977 Jefferson Nickels include date and mint mark set collectors who need one example to fill a specific album position, variety collectors who search for die characteristics and striking anomalies, grade collectors who seek the finest possible examples regardless of cost, and investment-oriented collectors who view high-quality numismatic material as alternative assets with potential for long-term appreciation. Market demand trends show consistent collector interest across multiple decades, with periods of increased activity corresponding to general numismatic market cycles, new collector entry into the hobby, and specific promotional activities that highlight the Jefferson Nickel series, while the underlying demand remains stable due to the coin's fundamental appeal and the continuous need for collectors to acquire examples for various collecting goals. And price performance over time demonstrates the market's recognition of quality specimens, with higher grade examples showing particularly strong performance as the collector base has expanded and competition for the finest specimens has intensified, making strategic acquisition of exceptional examples a potentially rewarding approach for collectors who understand market dynamics and are willing to pay appropriate premiums for truly superior specimens. And the international collecting community also contributes to demand, as Jefferson Nickels represent accessible American numismatic material that appeals to collectors worldwide who appreciate both the historical associations and the reasonable price levels compared to more expensive American coin series, creating a broad and diverse collector base that supports market stability and provides liquidity for collectors who may eventually choose to sell their holdings. And current market analysis suggests continued growth potential as new collectors discover the series and existing collectors upgrade their holdings, making careful selection and proper preservation essential strategies for maximizing both collecting satisfaction and potential financial returns. Comparison analysis with other years and mint marks in the Jefferson Nickel series reveals the specific market position and relative value of 1977 specimens, showing how production quantities, survival rates, and collector preferences interact to create the pricing structure that exists in today's marketplace. And when comparing production quantities, the 1977 falls within the range typical of late 1970s Philadelphia mint production, making it neither particularly scarce nor extremely common in terms of original mintage, though the survival rates in higher grades show patterns consistent with circulation patterns and collector preservation habits during that era, creating availability situations that favor collectors seeking attractive examples in mid-range grades, while making exceptional specimens increasingly difficult to locate. And price comparisons with nearby dates show how subtle differences in collector perception, availability, and market promotion can create variations in value that may not directly correlate with actual rarity, making market knowledge and timing important factors for collectors seeking to optimize their acquisition strategies. And when examining the broader Jefferson Nickel series, the 1977 represents solid mainstream collecting material that offers reasonable availability, combined with potential for appreciation, particularly in higher grades where market competition remains strong and supply continues to tighten as existing specimens migrate into long-term collections. And understanding these comparative market dynamics helps collectors make informed decisions about which dates and grades to target based on their collecting goals, budget considerations, and risk tolerance regarding future market performance. Set completion importance drives significant collector demand for 1977 Jefferson Nickels, as systematic collectors working toward complete date and mint mark sets require examples from each production year and facility, creating sustained baseline demand that supports market values and ensures continued collector interest regardless of broader numismatic market conditions. And the psychology of set completion means that collectors often place premium value on the specific dates and mint marks needed to achieve their collecting goals, making certain specimens more valuable to individual collectors than general market conditions might suggest, and this completion demand becomes particularly important for coins like the 1977p that represent essential components of comprehensive Jefferson Nickel collections, ensuring ongoing collector interest and market activity that benefits both buyers seeking examples and sellers looking to place specimens with enthusiastic collectors, and the album and folder manufacturers who produce storage and display products specifically designed for Jefferson Nickel collecting further support this demand by making systematic collecting both convenient and rewarding, creating a structure that encourages long-term collecting commitment and provides clear goals that drive acquisition activity. And understanding the role of set completion in collector psychology helps explain why certain dates maintain strong demand even when their individual rarity might not justify premium pricing, making systematic collecting both a driving force in the market and an opportunity for collectors who understand how to position their holdings to benefit from this sustained demand pattern. Professional grading service importance has grown dramatically over recent decades as collectors and investors seek standardized, authoritative opinions about coin condition and authenticity, making third-party certification from services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC Numismatic Guarantee Corporation increasingly valuable for 1977p Jefferson Nickels, particularly in higher grades where small differences in condition assessment can translate into significant variations in market value, and the certification process involves detailed examination by experienced graders who evaluate multiple condition factors including surface preservation, strike quality, luster characteristics, and any signs of cleaning, environmental damage, or artificial enhancement, resulting in a numerical grade and holder that provides market confidence and facilitates both trading and long-term storage. And certified specimens generally command premium prices compared to raw coins due to the authentication and condition guarantee provided by professional services, making certification a valuable strategy for specimens that meet the quality standards these services require. Though collectors must understand that certification costs and minimum value thresholds make this option most appropriate for higher grade specimens that justify the expense, and the specific advantages of professional certification include market acceptance, authenticity guarantee, standardized condition assessment, protective storage, and enhanced liquidity for collectors who may eventually choose to sell their holdings, making certified specimens particularly attractive to serious collectors and investors who prioritize quality documentation and market recognition of their numismatic holdings. The identification and collecting tips for 1977p Jefferson Nickels begin with understanding the distinguishing characteristics that separate these specimens from other dates and mint marks in the series, starting with the date positioning, which appears clearly at the bottom right of the obverse design, showing the distinctive typography and style used by the Philadelphia Mint during 1977. And since Philadelphia produced nickels from this era did not receive visible mint marks, identification relies on recognizing the specific design characteristics, die preparation style, and surface qualities typical of Philadelphia Mint production during this period, making comparative knowledge essential for collectors who want to confidently identify and authenticate specimens. And the careful examination techniques that experienced collectors use include checking the date numerals for the specific font style and positioning used in 1977, evaluating the overall strike quality and surface characteristics typical of Philadelphia Mint production, and comparing suspicious specimens with known authentic examples to verify genuineness, while also watching for common alteration attempts, including date modifications, artificial toning, or surface treatments designed to enhance apparent condition, making knowledge and experience essential tools for successful collecting in this series. And the specific identification points that collectors learn to recognize include the precise positioning and style of all inscriptions, the quality and completeness of design element transfer, and the surface characteristics that indicate original mint condition versus circulation or environmental exposure, creating a foundation of knowledge that allows confident purchasing decisions. An accurate condition assessment. Mint mark location becomes an interesting aspect of 1977P. Jefferson Nickel identification because the absence of a visible mint mark is itself the identifying characteristic for Philadelphia production, as the mint had not yet adopted the practice of placing mint marks on nickels produced at the main facility, making the lack of a mint mark the key indicator of Philadelphia origin. Though collectors must be aware that other mint facilities did use mint marks during this period, requiring knowledge of where such marks would appear and how they would be styled to avoid confusion with unmarked Philadelphia specimens. And this identification challenge makes comparative study particularly valuable, as collectors benefit from examining examples from multiple mint facilities to understand the subtle differences in striking characteristics, surface qualities, and dye preparation techniques that can help distinguish Philadelphia production even without visible mint marks. And experienced collectors often develop the ability to recognize Philadelphia mint characteristics through overall coin quality, specific striking patterns, and surface characteristics that reflect the equipment, procedures, and quality standards used at the primary mint facility during this era, making careful study and comparison essential skills. For anyone serious about Jefferson Nickel collecting or investment, condition assessment requires systematic evaluation of multiple factors that affect both the aesthetic appeal and market value of 1977P Jefferson Nickels, beginning with overall surface preservation, which includes checking for contact marks, scratches, cleaning evidence, and environmental damage that can significantly impact collectability, while also evaluating luster quality and completeness, as original mint luster provides essential eye appeal and indicates proper preservation since the time of minting. And the specific areas that require careful examination include Jefferson's portrait, where facial detail definition indicates strike quality and preservation level. The inscription areas where letter sharpness demonstrates both striking excellence and wear patterns. And the reverse architectural details of Monticello, where building elements must show complete definition to achieve higher grade levels, making systematic examination techniques essential skills for collectors who want to accurately assess condition and make informed purchasing decisions. And understanding the difference between natural aging effects and actual condition problems helps collectors distinguish between specimens that show attractive natural character development and those that have suffered damage or deterioration that affects collectability. And the grading standards established by professional services provide frameworks for condition assessment that collectors can learn to apply through study and experience, making accurate condition evaluation both a critical skill and an ongoing learning process that improves with practice and exposure to high-quality specimens. Authentication methods become increasingly important as market values rise and the financial incentives for producing counterfeit or altered specimens increase, making knowledge of genuine specimen characteristics essential for protecting collecting investments. And the primary authentication techniques include weight verification using precision scales to confirm the correct 5.000 gram specification, dimensional measurement to verify the standard 21.1 mm diameter, and careful examination of design elements for the precise detail characteristics that indicate genuine Philadelphia mint production, while also checking for signs of common alteration methods including date modifications, surface treatments, and artificial aging designed to simulate natural toning or wear patterns, and understanding the metallurgical properties of authentic copper-nickel alloy helps collectors recognize specimens with incorrect composition or surface characteristics that suggest artificial origin, making scientific knowledge a valuable complement to traditional numismatic authentication techniques and the sound test, magnetic properties check, and visual inspection under proper lighting conditions provide additional verification methods that experienced collectors learn to use effectively. Though complex authentication questions may require professional opinion from recognized experts or certified authentication services, making knowledge of available resources an important component of successful collecting strategy and staying current with information about known counterfeits and alteration methods helps collectors avoid problematic specimens while building confidence in their authentication abilities. As storage and preservation recommendations play a crucial role in maintaining the condition and value of 1977 Jefferson Nickels over time, beginning with environmental control that includes stable temperature and humidity levels to prevent corrosion, toning acceleration, or other chemical reactions that can affect appearance and collectability, while also protecting specimens from direct handling that can cause contact marks, fingerprints, and surface disturbance that reduces grade level and market appeal. And the specific storage solutions that collectors use include individual holders made from inert materials that provide protection while allowing easy viewing, album pages designed specifically for Jefferson Nickels that facilitate systematic organization while maintaining proper environmental isolation, and security storage that protects valuable specimens from theft, damage, and unauthorized access, making proper storage both a preservation necessity and a security consideration for valuable collections. And understanding the chemical properties of copper-nickel alloy helps collectors choose storage materials that will not react with the coin's surfaces or create conditions that promote toning or corrosion, while also avoiding materials like PVC plastic that can cause chemical damage over time, making material selection an important component of long-term preservation strategy. And regular inspection schedules allow early detection of storage problems or environmental changes that might affect coin condition, making proactive preservation management an essential skill for serious collectors who want to maintain the quality and value of their holdings over extended time periods. Professional grading benefits include standardized condition assessment that provides market confidence and facilitates trading activities, while also offering authentication services that protect against counterfeit and altered specimens, making certification particularly valuable for higher-grade specimens, where condition assessment becomes critical for accurate valuation. And the specific advantages include protective holders that provide long-term storage solutions while allowing safe viewing and display, market recognition that enhances liquidity and trading opportunities, and condition guarantees that provide recourse in cases where grading accuracy questions arise. Though collectors must understand the costs and minimum value requirements that make certification most appropriate for specimens that justify the expense, and the process involves submission procedures, timing considerations, and fee structures that collectors should understand before committing to professional grading, making service selection and timing important strategic decisions that can significantly impact the financial results of certification. And understanding the market premiums that certified specimens command helps collectors evaluate whether certification costs are justified by potential value enhancement, making cost-benefit analysis an essential tool for optimization collecting and investment strategies. And the specific services offered by major grading companies include various certification levels, special designations for exceptional specimens, and conservation services that can address certain condition issues, while maintaining numismatic integrity. Where to buy and sell 1977 Jefferson Nickels involves understanding the various market channels that serve different collector needs and preferences, beginning with local coin dealers who offer personal service, immediate availability, and the opportunity for hands-on examination before purchase, while also providing expertise and market knowledge that can help collectors make informed decisions. And the specific advantages of dealer relationships include access to new acquisitions, trade opportunities, and professional advice about market conditions and collecting strategies. Though pricing may reflect dealer overhead and profit requirements, that can affect value optimization. And auction houses provide access to rare and high-grade specimens that may not be available through other channels, offering competitive bidding environments that can result in both exceptional values and premium prices, depending on bidder competition and market conditions, making auction participation both an opportunity and a risk that requires careful preparation and bidding discipline. And online marketplaces have revolutionized numismatic commerce by providing access to specimens from dealers and collectors worldwide, creating unprecedented selection and pricing transparency while also requiring enhanced authentication skills and risk management strategies to avoid problematic transactions. And understanding the advantages and risks of each market channel helps collectors develop sourcing strategies that optimize both acquisition costs and specimen quality while minimizing transaction risks and authentication concerns. Coin shows represent another important market venue that combines the personal interaction benefits of local dealers with the selection advantages of larger markets, providing opportunities to examine specimens from multiple dealers, compare prices and quality levels, and build relationships with specialists who focus on Jefferson Nickels and related series, while also offering educational opportunities through seminars, displays, and informal interactions with experienced collectors who share knowledge and collecting strategies, making show attendance both acquisition opportunity and a learning experience that can significantly enhance collecting success. And the specific benefits include immediate availability of purchased specimens, face-to-face negotiation opportunities, and access to specialists who may not maintain regular retail locations. Though show attendance requires travel investment and time commitment that may not be practical for all collectors, making selective show participation an important strategic consideration. And understanding show schedules, dealer participation patterns, and market timing helps collectors optimize their show attendance for maximum benefit, while managing travel costs and time investment. And the networking opportunities provided by shows often lead to long-term dealer relationships, collecting partnerships, and access to off-market specimens that enhance collecting opportunities. Beyond the immediate show environment, building complete sets and collections requires systematic planning. That includes defining collecting goals, establishing budget parameters, and developing acquisition strategies that balance cost optimization with quality standards, making strategic thinking an essential component of successful Jefferson Nickel collecting. And the specific approaches that collectors use include focusing on particular grade levels that provide attractive specimens within budget constraints, targeting specific date ranges that offer reasonable completion possibilities, and prioritizing key dates or conditions that provide the foundation for future expansion, while also considering storage requirements, documentation needs, and long-term collecting objectives that will guide decision-making over extended periods, and understanding the market dynamics that affect different collecting approaches helps collectors choose strategies that align with their financial resources, time availability, and collecting preferences, making goal setting and strategy development crucial first steps in systematic collecting. And the psychological rewards of set completion provide motivation that sustains collecting interest over time while creating clear milestones that measure progress and achievement, making systematic collecting both a practical approach to numismatic acquisition and a source of ongoing satisfaction that justifies the time and financial investment required for success. Market timing considerations affect both acquisition and disposal decisions, as numismatic markets experience cycles that create opportunities for value optimization through strategic buying and selling, making market knowledge an important tool for collectors who want to maximize their collecting satisfaction and potential financial